Okay, Noemi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No feedback, no noise, no nothing?
No, I can hear everything perfectly.
Okay, okay, very good. And it's a YouTube as well. Thank you, Noemi. Okay, say now, it was my microphone.
Hi, Carmen.
It's trying to get warm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly.
Is it too noisy?
Can't win, this weather is crazy. One day it's cold, one day it's hot.
Yeah.
No, it's the weather.
Is this noise bothering you?
I'm sorry?
The noise from out here.
Well,
I can pull the door up.
we're trying to get a couple more from my community members here, but I guess they'll find their way in.
Yeah. well, it's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
And if anyone needs the restroom, we have the restroom available. right?
Yeah. So we got. Julie, Diane. I wish I had a. Accessibility.
Carmen, can you hear us? Can
Yes.
yes?
Yep, we can hear you all clearly.
Okay. so
Okay,
we have a problem. with
Hi,
that.
Carmen.
Hi, Carmen.
Mary, hi, James.
So- No, leave it what it
Oh.
was.
Oh, okay, I thought you had to.
I don't see this, I don't hear, over here.
Hmm.
Good morning.
Carmen, can you hear you now? Can you do a sound check?
Yep,
Okay, because the problem is,
you all sound wonderful and clear.
Good
And
morning,
we can see
everyone.
you all. Good morning.
okay, I don't, for some reason, we don't have it over here.
Here's some minutes.
Okay, I'll do like that.
You can just, jot down some things and I can,
Okay,
you can send it to me and I'll.
all right. I see. Joseph is leaving.
Huh?
I see that Joseph is leaving.
Yes,
That's too bad.
I know,
I'm leaving too, by the way.
huh?
I'm leaving too. I
Seriously?
didn't reapply for the board next week.
Oh, shut up. I couldn't tell. You heard him? Mm-mm-mm. Sorry for the delay, guys, but trying to wait for a couple more committee members, but, also we're having some technical difficulties here.
We thought that we were gonna be the ones that were still here, we thought we were next, so we were gonna.
This is the aging committee, so we're over.
I'm always actually showing me how to use that. Google.
Buenos días, señorita, ¿cómo están ustedes? Aquí entre el último año que hace.
Come to the meeting.
¿Cómo están?
Buenos días.
Y buenos días para todos y para todas las damas maravillosas que están aquí en el día de hoy.
Mira, por favor, sign.
Ya, mi registro. Mi registro.
Qué bueno. That's my man. Wonder, I'm taking notes if you want.
Okay, great.
Morning, how are you? Hmm.
Hi. So they can hear us, but we can't hear them, right?
We can hear here, I want to miss you, would
No,
like
I
to use
can't,
this
I
speaker
can't hear them.
from here. This is for the participant here that we have. These are all the participants that we have.
Surely, I got everybody.
Alexson from Isabella is in her way. She went to the office.
Huh?
Alexson from Isabella.
Oh.
She went to the office by mistake. She's in her way.
Oh, okay, great. We'll wait about 3 more minutes.
Yes, it's time.
Hello.
She is the woman, the myth, the legend.
Okay,
Thank you for your help.
yeah. If you need anything, just actually over on the front.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everything's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get started.
You're late for a very good reason.
Good morning, everybody. This is the Community Board 12M Committee for Concerns of the Aging. Meeting on this Thursday, May 1st. Happy May, happy spring, we hope. Enough of these winter days.
Happy May Day.
Yeah. My name is Mary Anderson. I'm the chair of this committee. And I'd like to introduce the other members of my committee that are here in the room. James?
I'm James Bosley, member of this committee, member of community board, and that's about it. I just local on.
I'm Liz Ritter, member of the community board of the community, and also a volunteer with Uptown Wagon, which is operating free store today in March.
Good morning, Erwin Fernandez, member of the committee and member of CB12.
And on Zoom, we have some folks that I'd like to introduce. Dory,
Good morning, everyone. Dory Garcia, Executive Director of ARC 16 for Washington, co-chair of WICOA, and a public member of this committee.
thank you. Carmen,
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm a member of Community Board 12, and I'm also on the Traffic and Transportation Committee and the Health and Environment Committee and the Cannabis Task Force.
Wendy,
And I'm visiting today. I'm really excited to be joining this call. I could never make it because of work, and I don't have meetings this morning. So I'm super
All right.
excited to be with y'all.
cool, and of course, associated with your other committees. Shirley,
Good morning, everyone. Shuli Gutman. I'm the director of Mariah Senior Center, and I'm on the board of WICOA.
thank you. Diane,
Good morning. I'm Diane Ashley. I'm Chief Marketing Communications Officer for Isabella, MJHS Isabella Center and MJHS Health System. Here representing both today, but primarily Isabella.
thank you. Cecily, Cecily, can you introduce yourself? Maybe she's muted. We'll go back. Ilana? All right, Liliette,
Good morning, everyone. Lily Lopez, Night Connects Outreach Specialist, and Night Connect connects people with any disability of all ages to services and resources. And we are a free of charge program, and I'll send Mary the contact information. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. And Miriam James? Miriam, I'm sorry, Miriam Rabner.
I'm Miriam Rabner, as was just mentioned. I'm an outreach coordinator for MJHS Health System and a liaison in the community. I also sit on the board of WICOA.
Thank you. We have some community members with us today. I'd like to introduce. Say your name and.
Mayla Cruz. Sorry.
Be here. No, can I?
Time ago. Thank you for coming, guys. I appreciate that. Okay, without further ado, we have our presenters here for the day, and we have Vladimir Jacquista, Kimber, your last name? Thank you. To talk to us about cannabis and its uses and benefits for the older adults. Excited to hear all about this.
Yes.
I was hoping you'd bring samples, but I guess you don't have any.
I'm really honored to be here. I'm Vladimir Bautista, co-founder and CEO of Happy Monkey. I want to thank Liz and the rest of the committee for having us and welcoming us. Me and my partners opened the first legal licensed dispensary in Inwood. Born and raised in Harlem, went to George Washington High School. Come from immigrant parents from the Dominican Republic, so basically, grew up here. And
Excuse me 1 second. Do you all understand English?
I speak Spanish too.
Okay, so maybe do your own translation. Sorry, I didn't think about it. My apologies. So, okay.
Era más breve en español después de.
Exacto, yo voy a decir inglés, pero voy a decir español. So, the reason that me and my partners opened, the first one in Inwood is because of that, because, we know how much the uptown community was impacted by the war on cannabis and the war on drugs, and we just felt it was a travesty that cannabis has been legal for almost 4 years in New York, that all the medicinal and economic benefits were going to people below 96th Street. And I felt like our community deserved access to medicine, access to education, access to tax benefits and employment. And that's why we started opening in Inwood and Dyckman. So today, I'm here and I brought my friend and my colleague to help everybody understand the medicinal benefits of cannabis, the economic benefits, the community benefits, and also to make sure that everyone knows in the committee and in the community that the biggest growing sector of cannabis consumers is senior citizens. And we're big on education and we wanna extend the olive branch to make communication and any type of facilitation as easy as possible. So now I guess I'll say that in Spanish. Yo soy Vladimir Bautista, CEO y cofundador de Happy Monkey. Nosotros abrimos el primer dispensario legal caníbico en el Alto Manhattan, en Diamond. Y yo me crié en Harlem, nacido criado padre dominicano. Fui a la high school de George Washington aquí. So pensé que era correcto que ahora tiene 4 años que la planta legalizó y lo que habíamos visto es que lo que están beneficiando es todo el mundo que vive de la 96 para abajo. Para acá arriba no, la gente no tenía acceso a esa medicina, ni a la educación, ni al empleo, etcétera. Nosotros siendo esta comunidad que teníamos que nosotros hacerlo aquí, y la razón que estoy aquí es que el sector creciendo más grande de la gente que están usando esa planta es la gente mayor, porque tiene muchos beneficios medicinales, pero el problema es que acá arriba no había acceso. Ahora yo estoy aquí con la colega mía para explicarle a todo el mundo los beneficios medicinales, para que sepan que nosotros estamos aquí para educar y para facilitar toda la manera que la comunidad mayor pudiera educarse y tener acceso a esta planta, a esta medicina que puede ayudar a la gente a dejar de usar muchas pastillas de la farmacia que están haciendo daño y cosas así.
Único le gusta.
Perdón. ¿A qué tipo de plantas que usted realmente y la ponen acá en la se refiere a un sistema sintético, o sea, sin que no pero sin el principio de la utilización medicinal de la misma?
Sí, por eso la traje a ella, porque de todas las marcas que yo tengo en la tienda mía, la de ella es la que es más medicinal y no tiene efectos psicoactivos, solamente medicinal, a base de que hay una crema para el dolor, hay otra para diferentes cosas que le salen a la piel a la gente, hay también gotas para la gente dormir. Yes, ma'am.
Por ejemplo, este crema tiene CBD y THC y eucalyptus
Sí.
y menta. ¿Menta?
¿Es tópico?
Sí, es tópico. Usa, ¿cómo se llama esto?
En la piel.
Hombro.
En los hombros.
Y aquí y también en las rodillas.
En todas las articulaciones, para ser más correcto.
Estoy usando esto ahora
Sí,
y tengo una mente clara.
Perdón. Lo que yo quería saber es, porque las personas que tienen problemas de artritis, que tienen problemas, todas las articulaciones del cuerpo, yo tengo conocimiento de lo mismo, es necesario porque es como una planta que produce y se penetra a la tercera capa de la piel, donde te proporciona ventajas en las articulaciones para moverte, en cada una de las coyunturas que llamamos nosotros el cuerpo entero, en todas partes de la coyuntura que te duele y te baja la inflamación también posiblemente.
Now can we do a translation to those of us that don't understand Spanish?
So what he was saying was, that basically he knows about the plant. He asked me to explain exactly what I meant by it, and what I explained to him was that the plant has benefits for pain, for people that have problems sleeping, anxiety, and he said, and so did Liz, that they both have experience of using CBD and THC creams and how it's helped them with joint pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, etc. And that's what, we are here to break down all the different options there are, because the truth is that a big travesty is that the go-to for all our seniors in our community is pharmaceuticals, opioids. And there are many other options, and cannabis is a great alternative to that for many ailments. And unlike pharmaceuticals that have 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 side effects, cannabis has none. So they have everything to gain, nothing to lose by trying an alternative.
My sister uses a liquid form that she puts a couple of drops in her morning coffee. She has fibromyalgia and she suffers terribly from it. And it really helps her. I mean, she's been, you know, swearing by it since she started using it. You know, and I may be next on the family intake, because I have orthopedic issues, but I have severe pain still in one part of my foot where I've had joint fusion in one part of the foot for several joints. But I know that needs joint fusion too, but it's a matter of having the surgery, but then spending 3 months in rehab, which I've done, and I really, you know, I've done it twice already for, you know, both feet. And I really, you know, 3 months in rehab is not fun. And I really don't want to do that again, but for the time being, I'm suffering because the meds that I'm taking for pain aren't working for that.
That's why I brought Kim, right, because just to give you some context, in our store, we have, let's say, 100 different products and 100 different brands. But hers is one of the ones we've seen the best results with. So for example, we went to the senior center in the Dyckman Housing Projects. We did a similar presentation. She gave out some samples and, we, told them about the product. They started coming to the store. All the seniors from there have stopped using a lot of, like I said, pharmaceuticals, and now they come and get her cream. So that's why I want her to explain her product, because it's the one that I've seen that has worked best for seniors since we don't.
I brought you a little, a takeaway.
Oh, please sit, Sam.
Oh,
No, I don't.
waiting for her to whip it out, you know?
The nice things, about my product is that we can schedule an in-person, and have people try different things, because my product has no THC. So I've been in, the cannabis space professionally since 2018. I helped open one of the major medical registered organizations in New York State, where I worked in research and development, and then moved into retail sales and retail education. I have a very rare autoimmune condition that I was diagnosed with in 2002. 68 people in the world have it. If you've ever heard of Ghostbusters, and you know the actor Harold Ramis, he is one of the people that died from the condition that I have. So in working with the Mayo Clinic doctor, I was 28. He told me that the medications that I was taking would not allow me to live past 50. And I started looking at cannabis very, very differently. I used to smoke because I was really, really sad. More people kill themselves from being sad than will die of my type of blood disease, because there are only 68 of us. And most people are affected by sadness, mood disorder, inflammation, and that's what really led me, once I started to see that I could feel better, I wanted to share that methodology with everyone. What I saw when I was working at medical dispensaries for the past 6 years is that more than half of the people that I was interacting with on a daily basis were over 65. The only time that I saw youth in the dispensaries was during COVID, because I couldn't go to Massachusetts. But outside of that, the overwhelming majority of the customers and the patients that we were meeting with, I'm 51 and they could have been my parent. So one thing that we were always very cognizant of is we always want people to be sharing with their doctor before they consume or utilize any medication, nutrition, supplement, because I'm not a doctor. But what I am is an autism mom, I have a minor who is a patient in the New York State Medical Program. He has autism, epilepsy, and a blood disease. I have a blood disorder. And everything that's in my line that I started in 2018, really to share my story, evolved and got refined through my son's illnesses. There are 150 molecules in the plant that we know about right now. People always talk about THC, they're so excited about THC. But when we talk about policy and regulation, we always question, is it for the need of one or the good of the whole? I look at cannabis the same way. I look at the rest of the plant and the good of the whole. So I focus on rare and minor cannabinoids that we can layer into our diet that help reduce inflammation, help people find balance, a sense of calm, a sense of focus, without that psychotropic effect that we all associate from cannabis movies about being so high. People still feel happy and elevated and energized, that they're able to function, work through pain. I'm a women-owned company based in Long Island. I have the #3 topical brand in New York State right now. I use something called CBN, cannabinol, which will be great for you. We'll swap information, and we make a cream, and this cream with CBD and CBN is what I use to control my hives so I don't lose mobility. I have a vascular condition, so I get swellings everywhere. I have not taken a pharmaceutical in 15 years. My son takes anti-seizure medicine every day. I'm very big plant proponent, but I don't believe in plant over pills. I don't want anyone to feel that they should be excluded from a community. I want our seniors to know that when you do talk to their doctors about cannabis, whether it's my product or something in the THC vein, they very often find that their pharmaceuticals work a little better, a little more efficiently, and that the doctors can reduce the dosage. So for someone like my father-in-law, who has 4 types of cancer and diabetes, he takes a cannabinoid called THCV, and it's reduced the amount of insulin he needs by 50%. So he's still taking it, but it's working a little more efficiently and effectively in his body. So those are the things I like to talk about. Because I have no THC, I am able to come and do community events. I do a hand massage event at the Dyken store once a month on a Friday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we invite people to come in and they just get a warm towel, even hand massage. And that's how we get people. Once you feel good, you want to learn a little more, and not having THC allows everyone to come into a really beautiful store in the community, feel good about what they're experiencing and purchasing. And just because you can get something in a gas station doesn't mean you should have to.
Yeah.
So I think
Oh, if I can ask a question, or?
I was just wondering if Miguel understood. Do you need translation?
Lo importante es que es una innovación para personas de mayor edad acá, entre 50 años a 85 años. Realmente necesita ese medicamento para necesita más promoción, que nosotros mismos colaboremos entre sí para hacerlo llegar a los hogares.
What he's saying is that it's such an innovative thing, what you're doing. He said the biggest population up here is between 50 and 80, that is the majority of seniors up here, about 80, and he said that we need to do a better job of collaborating and promoting so that we know about this.
it's why we're here today, because being able to know you helps us gain that.
Thank you.
So the goal is for us to do that. And to bring us to 10 new people that we can share our story with.
Dice ella que es por eso que estamos aquí, porque este es puente para nosotros de lo que tú dijiste, porque dice ahora contigo, la última vez,
tú traías mitades y ahora las mitades al que pierden.
Hay una técnica mucho más avanzada que tienen conocimiento de la primera categoría y lo comprendo, pero hay técnica más avanzada de yo me muevo acá en la zona periférica de Washington High completo, acá sí, en el centro, en el centro de Washington High. Y muchas personas me conocen y sería bueno que en sus lugares de negocio informal se les haga, yo puedo colaborar, no tengo inconveniente, no necesito más que su autorización para no a cambio de algo ni nada. ¿No? Esa promoción para que en el próximo evento que se materialice tenga mayor eficacia a la reunión.
He's saying that there's ways to advance that promotion by like somebody like him having like more of these or having some more information to spread it to his
I
friends.
love that. I also am the only brand, actually in the country, but I'm only worried about New York State. I provide assets in English and in Spanish. So there's an item that I do that introduces people to oral solutions. I look at cannabis as morning, noon, and night, and this item is sold at the Happy Monkey stores. Truthfully, I created it in partnership with them. My background is my grandfather is from Argentina, who's a linguist, so he believed that language is what brings us together. Living in today's world, I see that language is really, instead of something that unites us, very often a barrier. So in cannabis, we have so much of a barrier in getting past the stigma with THC. Now adding language in, being that I'm so focused on the aging community, the rheumatoid community, and the special needs community, being able to take what I create, which is a little asset card in English, so that you know how to take an oral solution, what it does. Instead of making a bilingual asset, I have a completely Spanish version with the same medication. It's more focused on the education than the correct names for my branding. But even when we go to the senior centers and we were doing the massages, every sample that was distributed came with English and Spanish. And I'm always like, please help me make the translation a little better, like it won't hurt my feelings, but I'm trying. Because I think that you can't tell people you want something to be attainable and accessible if you're not willing to meet people where they are. So I would love to be able to get that into your
Ella
hands.
dice que ella la única casi en el país de Nueva York que tiene materiales en inglés y en español, que le gustaría llegar a algo
Con mucho gusto. Si hay más contacto, yo puedo ayudarle más. O sea, yo tengo tiempo para ayudar. Y si necesitan me ayuda, no hay problema. Y coordinamos que no solo aquí, en los eventos que necesiten, no hay problema. Por el momento no tengo ningún inconveniente en colaborar.
He said he would love to collaborate and promote, you know, just out of love because he believes in it.
So let's do that. Thank you. Oh my God. My Spanish is.
No
But I try.
problem. You speak French?
No.
No problem. Okay.
That's why I put myself with the people.
This?
Yes.
No.
So another big goal of mine is that
Excuse me.
yes.
Could you translate what you said at the beginning?
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. So, lo que ella está diciendo era que ella es una de las únicas que tiene materiales en inglés y en español para pasar a la gente, cosas así de información, y que ella quisiera ponérselo más accesible para que la comunidad tuviera acceso a la lectura.
But what you said about the products.
About it being THC free.
Okay, lo que, perdón, que eso me pasó, lo que está diciendo es que los productos de ella no tienen efectos psicoactivos, ¿tú me entiendes? Que son productos medicinales, y lo que ella está diciendo mucho al comienzo de la historia de ella es la razón de que ella comenzó la marca de ella, es porque ella tiene muchos problemas de adentro, diferentes enfermedades. El hijo también tiene enfermedades, ella lo hizo de necesidad para buscar alternativos que no eran a partir de la farmacia. Entonces, ella no está diciendo ella que ella no promueve que la gente deje de usar cosas de la farmacia. Si tú estás usando 10 pastillas y ahora tienes que usar 6, es mejor que usted está usando 10. Y esa es la mentalidad de ella, que no es que tiene que uno o el otro, pero un balance mejor.
Ella no tiene.
Ella dice también que su padre tiene diabetes y 4 tipos de cáncer. Y él usa insulina por la diabetes, pero ahora, porque usa estos cannabinoides, usa menos de insulina por el mismo efecto con su diabetes.
Es excelente, y no, ella tampoco tiene una lucha con ella dice, no tiene una lucha, no tiene no tiene una pelea con los médicos, sino que ayuden a...
No necesita coger
No.
de uno o otro, los dos.
Los
sirven
dos
juntos.
son compatibles, uno con
Sí.
otro, compatibles,
Sí,
hay
sí,
compatibilidad.
That also, I mean, one of the things that, you know, we talked a little bit in terms of language, and, you know, bilingual, and if people speak English or if the information is in Spanish, if you speak English and you are giving a presentation in English, there are many, many words in this world that we don't use regularly. So language is a barrier because Cannabidivarian, this is not roll off the tongue. So there's a whole learning thing that happens here. And this is great, porque estas palabras, no sé estas palabras, no conoce estas palabras en inglés.
So I have
So this is great.
I share, because I'm an autism mom, I go to all these meetings and I'll have to advocate for my son. And I explain it very nicely. I'm here and I'm gonna run this meeting the way I run a business. So I have an asset to explain if cannabinoids help us run our body's balance. This is the role they would have if our body were a business. CBD would be the strategist, THC would be the visionary, THCV is the catalyst. Just to help people have and when I go to Conva at Yankee Stadium, I do it all in baseball terms. Because again, exactly what you're saying, 97% of the people in cannabis industry, when I talk, look at me and say, you sound like Sesame Street, CBT, CBC, CBG, CBN. So I really talk to people about energy, relief, relaxation, focus, pain. Even though I can't diagnose anything, and if you tell me you're looking for help with arthritis, I tell you I know a lovely doctor you can chat with. I can't help you with that. But if you're looking to soften your edges, and that language that we use is so important, because we don't want someone from the community to think, well, there's that happy monkey and I talked to her, now I don't need to go to a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do. So really very, because of the years in the medical space, and just really cognizant about what we're promising. And we're just promising to give you a good relationship. So if this item doesn't work, you can come back and ask us about another.
Ella lo que está diciendo es que la terminología, el lenguaje, hasta en inglés es complicado. So ella está diciendo que es difícil para trasladar cosas. Lo que ella está diciendo es que ella explica la cosa en vez de en esos términos grandes, ella hace analogía como de pelota o de negocio para que la gente entienda la cosa mejor, porque cuando nada más usan esa palabra tan grande, la gente se pierde. So ella se trata siempre de hacer la cosa más digital y más simple.
Lenguaje llano.
Más sencillo, porque
para
si no,
se lo pueda digerir.
Exactamente, si no la gente se pierde. Eso es lo que ella hace, porque ella tiene una pasión grande, igual que yo, para esto. Por eso que nosotros estamos aquí, porque ya yo he ido 2 veces a diferentes sitios de gente mayor a hacer presentaciones. La meta mía es seguir viniendo y a lo más posible. Y después, una de las metas mías es traer a ustedes a la tienda mía, que yo tengo un espacio así para hacer educación ahí y explicar a la gente. Pero yo sé que como esto es nuevo, yo estoy sacrificando mi tiempo y jalando a la gente para traer la educación aquí la meta mía es eso, que nosotros podemos ir a todos los sitios con gente mayores y que la gente se sienta cómoda al sitio de nosotros. I was just telling them in Spanish, now I gotta translate back that my biggest goal is here, that we already have been going, if you've seen the Senate, we went to the Dykeman housing one. I wanna go to as many as possible. I wanna go to as many of these as possible. And my ultimate goal is that for me to create a day for seniors, we have a space like this in our store that fits up to 20, 30 people, to have, host people there and be able to take them to an explore screen that we have that's in English and Spanish to explain all the medicinal benefits and just bridge that gap between the stigma, the assumptions, and the education to the best of our ability.
So one of the things we talk sometimes about cannabinoids.
Liz has been there.
Yeah, we talk sometimes about cannabinoids and not so much the psychotropic effects or the psychoactive effects, but that it like helps to manage anxiety or whatever like that. Part of what it also does, aside from managing your anxiety, is if you are cranky because you are inflamed, if something hurts and you are in a bad mood, and now something is less inflamed, you are less cranky, your elevated mood has less to do with psychoactive effects of the cannabinoids and more to do with if my, arthritic inflammation isn't
Throbbing.
giving me a terrible day, of course my mood is elevated. So.
And that's a big thing that people don't realize with cannabis as medicine. When you come see me in a medical dispensary, my number one question is, what kind of pain? You talked about on your bone, in a nerve, bone pain we can never get rid of. Nerve pain can be numbed like a Band-Aid. Oral solutions help us heal from within, but it's a process. So really sharing with people, if you suffer from chronic pain, the goal is how do we reduce inflammation from starting? That's the key to how I moved off of my pharmaceuticals. Really, how do I prevent those triggers? And a lot of it's diet and exercise, but when you start the day with pain and no sleep, it's very hard to move forward.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to move.
Ella está diciendo que una de las cosas muy importantes, porque Lisa mencionó que cuando tú, gente mayor alguna vez tiene diferentes cosas que está pasando con ellos, enfermedad, lo que sea, y cuando tú comienzas el día con dolor, inflamación o lo que sea, eso te daña el día completo, que cuando tú tienes algo así, que inmediatamente baja inflamación, baja el dolor, que te cambia la actitud del día y tú entiendes, no anda con esa mala mentalidad por el dolor y la inflamación. Another thing that I want to mention here that I think is important is everybody should know is everybody internally has an endocannabinoid system naturally. And when people age, the endocannabinoid system that we have, which helps balance a lot of things you have going on inside. I'm like, Kim will get more into it, knows about it. And as you get older, it goes more unbalanced and cannabis helps, of course, balance it. And I think it's important for people to know that we have this in our system already. Sometimes people think that cannabis is this foreign thing that came from a different planet. We have a system inside us already that sort of is compatible with it. So,
I just wanted to share that yesterday, the pain in my foot was so bad that I was trying to climb the steps in my building from the outside lobby to the inside lobby. The pain was so bad that guess what? I put my foot up the step and down I went. I have a lump on my leg right now. That's, the kinds of things that happen, and as Liz was saying, one thing leads to another. I mean, I had a pretty good day until then, and then I was sitting on the step and some lady came into the building, and I know that she's probably doesn't understand English, but I was asking her, I'm trying to gesture the fact that I had fallen, and when I fall, I can't get up. I need help to get up, because I can't kneel because of my knee replacements either. So this woman went right by inside the door and up the elevator or wherever. Totally ignored me sitting there, and I was crying because I was in pain and I was upset that I
Okay,
felt,
you know, that
but-
wasn't a language barrier, that woman was just.
I know.
It's just,
Well, that's what I said, because I said something came out of my mouth very loud, which wasn't very nice. And the next person, people that came out of the building was a lovely young couple. Daddy had a little baby in his arms, and the baby's mother actually is the one that helped me get up. You know, thank her, of course. But, you know, it's those kinds of things that, you know, happen, yeah.
Yo estaba diciendo, estaba explicando que dije en español para que no creo que puedan poner señorita que está aquí, que adentro cada humano tiene un sistema que se llama el endocannabinoid sistema, y eso es un sistema que ya tiene los mismos componentes que tiene la planta canábica dentro de uno, y cuando la gente se pone mayores, ese sistema se va descalibrando, y la planta ayuda a recaliblarlo y resulta ayuda a regular muchas otras diferentes cosas en el cuerpo de uno. Porque algunas veces uno piensa que esta planta es de otro planeta, pero hasta el cuerpo de uno tiene cosas dentro que combina con ella ya naturalmente. I just said no endocannabinoid.
So
Okay, I just wanna.
one thing I always like to share is.
Have people
your-
on Zoom that want.
Okay, people on Zoom, I just want you to know your body makes cannabinoids. So, we talk about this a lot when people get a runner's high and we really identify it wrong. It's something called anandamide. It's our bliss molecule and it's something our body produces. And the reason I share that is when we talk about drug testing, we look at how quickly other drugs leave the body. My family was Department of Sanitation, always being drug tested. Ketamine is out of your body in 3 days. Coke is out of your body in under a week. But cannabis is in your body for months. It lives in your fat cells. Why? Because it binds into your endocannabinoid system. It has a system to sit, lock into, and live in within your body. And that's why when we talk about all of these Schedule I entities that have been lumped together by somebody, cannabis is the only one that adheres to our system, because it belongs there. That hurt me, friends?
Ella dijo que el sistema tiene algo, ese sistema que yo te dije a ti, es tan fuerte en el cuerpo que cuando hay otras sustancias que tienen, vamos a suponer, cuando es legal en la misma clase, cocaína, heroína, etcétera, esas cosas duran 3, 4, una semana en el sistema. La planta dura meses para salir del sistema. ¿Por qué? Porque la planta tiene un sistema compatible con el cuerpo de nosotros y dura meses porque tiene un sitio y un sistema que combina con la planta dentro de uno. Porque naturalmente es algo que siempre el cuerpo ha tenido adentro. So, ella dice que por eso fue que la gente, tú me entiendes, ha durado tanto tiempo para toda esta información salir, porque es algo que puede cambiar la vida de mucha gente.
So I wanna reach out, do James or Erwin, do you have any questions for the, or comments?
I do have questions.
I'm sorry?
I have questions.
Okay, because I have people on Zoom, I think Carmen had her hand up as well, so go ahead.
I have a couple of questions.
Momento.
Una pregunta, por favor.
He hasn't asked any questions yet.
Sí, que me tengo que ir porque mi hijo a veces cuidado a largo plazo, tengo que estar con él. Y es para saber cómo sería posible que ustedes como la dirección del parque, nos ayudan a arreglar esa mesa de billar que está acá. Por favor.
He wants to know how you can help him, he says it's a side note question, how you as a parks department can help him, help them fix their pool table out there.
Está en deterioro.
Eso no es la reunión por eso, pero si llame llame a la oficina de la Junta Comunal. I'm about to give it to you.
Ah, ok.
Todo sé,
Bien. Entonces,
todo sé, necesita escribir.
ah, bien, papá.
Tome esto.
Perdón, pero tengo opinión especial.
No hay problema.
Llame ese número, pregunta por el hombre que fue allá, Ebenezer Smith.
Ajá.
Él es el district manager, y habla con él.
Para mí,
Porque es una cosa por el departamento de parques
sí.
y no es de.
no, pero mis disculpas por haber hecho la pregunta
Ok.
antes por,
Sí,
porque no tenía conocimiento de que no tenía.
ok.
Y
Ya
fue
ve.
invitado a la reunión. Y para todos, yo puedo colaborar con todos, lo que me necesiten. Yo aquí en la 178 con Washington y con San Nicolás, y estamos a su orden de todos, y con su permiso. Gracias.
Okay.
De nada.
Gracias, Miguel.
Thank you.
James.
Thank you. What is the, and I should Carmen can probably chip in on this one. The process of getting the license to open the store. I mean, is there a medical component to the training or, because I'm wondering if I'm coming and say, my elbow hurts, could you recommend something?
No. So even in a medical dispensary, when you come in and you say, oh my gosh, I have diabetes, what can I take? The only person who can answer that question is the licensed pharmacist who is on staff. New York State is one of 4 states with medical cannabis that has a licensed pharmacist on staff at every location. Part of the reason is because we have such a high aging population. So we know that our consumers are coming in taking medications that could have interactions. We also know that they are looking for someone to say, help me dose and relieve a certain ailment. Having a pharmacist there means that there is a person who can directly communicate with your general practitioner, with your specialist, as well as with your cannabis doctor, and then loop in your little cannabis expert like me in your location, so that every time James comes in and is looking for his sciatica, I know that Dr. Mueller recommended no more than, and the pharmacist is available to speak with you at XYZ time. In our adult use dispensaries, New York State, the OCM has a workforce education program that is in place. A new update was just made where our associates are required to spend a certain amount of hours dispensary, the hospitality involved, the correct language involved, like we were talking about before, I can't dose you in anything, and I always share with people, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a mom who figured out how to use this plant to help my child. So really do like to be very clear that you will never come into Happy Monkey or one of the 364 other stores and really be told how to help your medical ailments. We will refer you to one of the 31 active New York State medical dispensaries, and very often I say, you know what, you should call Heath. He's over at Etain Health and he'll be able to help you. You tell him I sent you.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
The hand massage, I'm very excited to come. Do you use CBD cream?
I use my products, I use the PM lotion, which is CBD and CBN. CBN as a cannabinoid numbs nerve pain. Similar to the way when you touch the inside of a red pepper, your skin gets like all tingly and nummy. I like to be able to show people the effect of the product because seeing is believing. We give you a 4-minute and 20-second hand massage.
That's
wing,
hilarious.
but because really, usually people will experience the hand massage after they've purchased. We don't want anyone to feel that we're pushing them to do anything other than share an experience. Products that's on shelf all the time, come back at your leisure if it's something you like, but more often than not, you see people kind of say, hey, I had a gentleman, 93 years old, up in Kingston, we massaged his knee, he came in with 2 caregivers helping him walk in with his cane, and he walked out holding the cane in the air. And we just packed up our things and said, we're done, we've accomplished our mission for the day. So it's nice when you can make everyone feel included. Like, we all talk about, this is this great plan, and it's all natural, and everyone can feel better. I want everyone to really be a part of that. So removing that THC is the reason we can go into these senior centers together. You can't go in with every CBD product. Some of them still legally are allowed to have 0.3% THC. If you don't consume cannabis on a regular basis, that could be euphoric for you. If you unfortunately have a family member with a critical condition, that product's probably better for you than mine. Because there's a place and a space for everyone.
Thank you.
By the way, I've had the hand massage and it is exceedingly relaxing.
Ahí aprecio a alguien que ella va a tener, en la tienda mía, ella va a tener un día que ella va a hacer masaje con la mano, con el producto de ella, y ahí apareció alguien en el Zoom que dice, yo lo hice, porque nosotros fuimos a par de sitios ahí al proyecto de Diamond, a par de sitios de gente mayores, y todo el mundo quedó encantado con esa crema, porque le quita el dolor a la gente.
We'll come back to you with the June date, I'll get on the calendar.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Just, hold on. Is
The
that-
other thing I just wanted to share is it's an
Let me
activity
get
that
this
doesn't
people
involve
I'm sorry, so,
no food, so no allergies.
right. Does anyone else on Zoom have any, questions or comments?
The hand
Carmen, I think
massages.
you had your hand up at one point.
We do like a heating towel.
Actually, she's left the meeting, so.
Just go for a massage.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? Alessia, how are you? No.
¿Tienen cualquier pregunta? ¿Cualquiera de ustedes?
What brought that today?
Dice ella que la trajo ustedes dos aquí hoy, por este tarde.
Very innocent people, very like.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Do they have any specific questions?
Si tú tienes cualquier pregunta de la tienda, de la industria, del producto. No, bueno.
Que todo lo que
Ustedes van a venir entonces al evento que yo voy a tener en la tienda mía.
I have a problem with, I have one say, I forgot the name, not the tendon, the.
ACL?
ACL, I don't know.
Oh,
El cartílago. Cartilage, yeah. I have that, steer. Steer, yeah, right. I fell and that can be repaired with that. I don't want to go to a doctor to tell me that I need a surgery.
So the PM cream that I formulated, I changed it after my son, non-speaking autism, broke his kneecap and tore his ACL. So my son was in a cast from his toes to his hips for 16 weeks. The cream, without a doubt, helped him almost too much because I had no idea that there was so much residual pain and he never got physical therapy. And with his other health issues, he genuinely lost the ability to walk and had to relearn. But it was such a sign, the way that CBN was, it's temporary. But it's like a Band-Aid for the excruciating pain. I have a fracture in the top of my right foot. So I just started to be able to wear shoes again. But without the cream,
I
I'm
don't have
done.
pain only when I sit down to go, when I go
Stand
to
up.
grab. Yeah, right, then. But I have them swollen since 2017, but I don't have any pain. Because I changed the floor in my apartment. And I forgot to put the protector on it. So. And when I entered the closet, I heard something there. So I think that was when that happened. Yeah.
Okay, we need to move the agenda. I thank you so much for your
One last thing
presentation.
I wanna say here, I wanna be in touch with you, Mary, I'm already in touch with you, Liz. I didn't have time to bring it this time, I wanna make a special discount card for everyone from the aging committee and
Thank you.
CB12 to all around the board, 5% off to anything in my store, so I wanna be in touch so I can get those to you.
Perfect.
Because I'm grateful for the opportunity and I wanna continue this dialogue.
We can't technically accept anything that is not generally
Yeah.
available to the public. So
Right.
you actually can't do a special code for CB 12 members, but if it were generally available to the public,
Yeah.
that we can accept.
Okay.
It's a conflict of interest thing,
I understand.
but thank you.
I just wanna, like I said, continue the dialogue, I wanna do more of these at different senior centers, any other aging.
Well, we've had some senior center directors on Zoom.
I mean, if you did
So-
a senior discount and we were able to,
Yes.
you know, do that because,
That's
but
what we're doing.
it just has to be something that is
So,
available to. the
So I'm gonna do a
public.
senior citizen discount then.
Perfect.
on the community. Much better.
Want to stay on the right side of the conflict of the
Oh,
law.
lines, I know how it is.
You know.
I just wanna say I'm very grateful. I want everybody to know that you're too blessed to be stressed. Things will get greater later. Just gotta always choose happy. Thank you for having me and Kim here. We're honored and we're grateful.
Thank you for coming and thank you, Liz, for
Well, you
letting me
know,
know about it.
thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for having this event where, you know, introducing you, and as you were talking about the benefits to the aging community, I was like, well, have I got the group for you?
Uh-huh.
So,
Here we
Thank you
go.
very much.
thank you, it was super interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, so,
I think that's on question.
sorry.
Hello?
Segue, as a segue to.
Yeah.
Hello, it's Alana.
Ilana wants to say something. She's
Thank
waiting.
you. Thank you, Miriam. Liz, I'm so glad you mentioned that because I'm sitting here worrying that this would be a sales promotion. And so that's sort of like a worry. Does anybody have that worry also, or shouldn't?
I mean, although Happy Monkey is a dispensary in our community, the idea that, I don't know about you, I mean, I knew a lot about cannabinoids before this meeting.
Right.
But I know a lot more now. So to the extent that the purpose of this meeting was to educate a particular segment of the community, namely seniors, about the medical benefits of cannabinoids, whether we buy them or not, and if we buy them, whether we buy them from this producer or this vendor.
Right, no, but I'm glad you said we can't accept the discount. So, because that made it more sales.
Yes, that's why I didn't bring anything
Yeah.
with me other than my
Yeah,
information.
this is not a sales pitch, yeah. But it does occur to me that, you know, they could maybe table at our upcoming event.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole rest of the meeting, so if you've
Yeah.
got, we have many items on the agenda
Please.
still yet to cover.
Stay for a minute if you can. Vladimir.
You might actually want to stay for one of the next. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we need to, if you're gonna have a side conversation, we have to do that side.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay, but you just can't have a side conversation with you.
Completely. It will be lost. Thank you.
He's staying.
You're staying?
Yeah, I need you to stay for a
Oh,
minute.
that's it.
At least.
Just pray my heart is still there.
So the next,
Yeah.
our meetings are usually on the first Thursday of the month. Next month, on June 5th, instead of our formal meeting, we will be partnering with several other organizations in the community to have a senior wellness health fair. It will be in the Audubon Plaza, which is on Audubon Avenue between 165th and 166th. And if you guys are wanting to have maybe a table there, please let me know.
I love that. When is it? What's the date? June 5th.
June 5th, it's from 11 to 3. We'll be having tables on chairs set up. And you're welcome to come. So if that's a definite yes, then I can put you on my list.
Fantastic.
And
Can you repeat the address?
I'm sorry?
It's Audubon Avenue between 165 and 166. So just around the corner from the post office and from the community board. It's the
Thank you
whole
very much.
block. It doesn't have an address. It's the whole little block between 167 and 165 and 166 of Audubon Avenue. It's a plaza.
I'll be, sending out flyers as soon as they're available. They should be available by next week. Allows it. Sorry?
Please, for our table for next week. Well, the next Thursday.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you put her on the list to have a table at
Oh,
the,
You want a
fair
table?
next month?
Okay, okay, we'll do.
It's gonna be June 5th.
Yes, I put it in my calendar.
Cool, thank
And
you.
I'll
Yeah,
send you
we would love a
flyers.
table too. Riverstone would love a table.
So it's basically like the aging, it's the same committee, but it's just outside like a.
Well, it's gonna be,
Correct.
it's gonna be.
If
a
it rains,
street-
it's gonna be inside on the second floor
it's
and
gonna
the
be a
outlines of the
street
building.
fair, co-sponsored by the DA,
DA is
The DA.
Waikoa, Washington Heights Neighborhood Council on Aging, the Aging Committee on Community Board 12, the
Isabel.
hospital, NYP, and Isabella,
Art and City Meals.
and City Meals, I'm sorry, thank you.
And ARC.
Our Fort Washington, which
Right.
is one of the senior centers.
11 to 3, right, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
I'm there, my dancing shoes on.
Fantastic.
Foxtrot.
Cool, okay. Anybody else have anything else about the health fair?
Just regrets that I'm not gonna be there.
There'll be also, all seniors and community are certainly more than welcome, but are encouraged to come. There'll be lunch provided also. And we've got 20 tables at least,
Who's providing lunch?
City Meals.
Love that.
They're the ones that provided the lunch last year.
In the Allianz Dominicana building, which is that, right in where the offices.
I'll send you the flyer, I'll send all the people that are gonna table and everybody the flyer when it's available. Sorry?
I can be a number 1 brand ambassador.
Fantastic. I love that.
Okay, any other old business?
I mean, other than us,
Old business.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
All our business is all business.
New business, budget priorities. I sent out to the committee. A copy of the capital and expense budget. Stuff that we had submitted last year. And there are some copies here. I also sent it to the directors of the senior centers. We don't have to work on this today, but I want people to start thinking about it, especially since we don't meet next month. Because in September, we're gonna have to put it together again. Okay, so look at it. You can send me any suggestions that you have to add, subtract, or multiply on those items. I appreciate all of that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I gotta bounce, I gotta get back to my free.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to skip over future speakers because we won't be meeting again until September, so I'll have to come up with some folks. Announcements. We have some issues on our committee.
Yeah.
Members. And
Can I,
you want to say you have something?
yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Just give us some information on this.
Sure.
From home, spinach.
I'm just passing the translate, I don't even call me, maybe if you would, solution pro bono.
It'll be really quick, and I actually have the paper, and it's transparent. I will not have you guys, I will give you the opportunity to put on together, I was here, I'll fix it as well. And I have that one, so I'll let you guys go. What about it?
Elias, why don't you stand up, come to the front and say who you are and where you're from?
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello, my name is Alicia Washington. I am from Isabella's nursing home. I work at Steve. And we have.
Which is, spell it out.
Yes, that's Upper Manhattan Partnership and Independence. And we provide case management services to seniors. We do come to their homes and we provide case management services. So we do assist with getting home health aid, we also help with getting Meals on Wheels. We have medication management where we have pharmacists come and review all of the medications that the seniors are taking to make sure that they're not taking too much or too little or, you know, the same things. We do companionships, we have training visits where we have people that do come to the homes to sit with them and do activities with them for the day, for the week, whatever they prefer. It is case management services, so when they do come to their home, they do notice that there are things that they do not have at home that they do need. If it's for safety reasons, it could be a bed, it could be a microwave, it could be blocks in the shower because they need them. They do refer them out to them. Our services are free of charge, but certain things that you may receive, you probably will have to pay if it does not come from us. But that's pretty much it. If anybody does have questions, if you'd like to translate that.
So this is you only go to people's homes, there's no center.
No, we do come to their homes and do our assessments there. And after we visit their homes, we, you know, it's pretty not much for us to come back and visit. They get their home attendants, we check in, we give them the wills, we check in, we finish it. After the appointments, I usually come in spot. Yeah.
So ella trabaja para el Isabela Center y ese es un centro que es un programa que va a la casa de la gente que necesita un home attendant, necesitan diferentes, le traen comida a la gente, si necesitan ayuda con cualquier cosa en la casa, una cama, una cosa que falta, ellos ayudan a la gente mayor con todas esas cosas. Y todo lo que viene de la organización de ellos es gratis. Ellos están afiliados con diferentes organizaciones. La cosa que no, ellos no tienen quizá va a haber costo, pero lo que viene de la agencia de ellos, todo es gratis. Y ellos van y se aseguran que la gente tenga todas sus cosas limpias y que tengan acceso a medicina, home attendant, etcétera. Pero todo es, no un sitio, ellos van a la casa de la gente a ayudar.
La gente si tiene más de 60 años de edad.
Is that connected with North?
No.
North, you know, to Isabella. Well, that's something different, and they are in the buildings in the community. I'm sorry, what's North?
There's another organization called North that is affiliated with Isabella.
North isn't an organization. North is an abbreviation for a naturally occurring retirement community. It's when you have a large concentration that happen organically of aging people, and there is North like program through Isabella, so it's also in Isabella. I mean, I guess they're kind of related, but they're different programs.
And I do wanna elaborate on the Meals on Wheels, because I know that everyone's familiar with the Meals on Wheels. They do have the lunch bags that they usually do bring to their homes. But we also have access to the breakfast box. The breakfast box, they do come to them and they bring them, I think, about 30 meals for the month. That does include eggs, milk, vegetables, produce, peanut butter. They have a big variety of things that they do bring to them with the breakfast box aside from the lunch. Because I know a lot of the seniors in the community usually complain about how they do not like the lunches that they have. But I personally think that you can never go wrong with the breakfast box. It comes with milk, eggs, peanut butter, oatmeal, farina, you know, basic things that they can just grab and make for their breakfast.
Ella dice que mucha gente sabe de la cosa básica, Meals on Wheels, que traen la comida a la casa, lunch a la gente mayor, pero ellos también tienen un desayuno que se llama breakfast box, que ella se siente que algunas veces está mejor que el lunch, tiene variedades de huevo, de leche, de pinamor, cosas así. Y encima de eso, que son como 30 diferentes comidas que le mandan al mes o algo así.
I like the Spanish word for peanut butter is peanut butter. Manteca de
We Spanglish, we mix it
Yeah,
up.
come on, get you.
Also, if anybody has any questions.
No, very well.
Sí, tiene preguntas.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Yeah, we have
announcements
that.
within the aging committee. Unfortunately, Miriam James, who has been a longtime member of this committee.
Mary?
Miriam
Mary.
James,
Mary.
has chosen not to reapply for the board. She was due to reapply this year. Unfortunately, she's had a lot of issues with deaths in the family and illness and all kinds of other things, so she wasn't able to really continue her work on the committee, which is sad because she, years ago, you know, when she first joined the board and was on our committee, she was a wonderful active member of the committee and really brought a lot to it. So want to wish her well in her endeavors because she does a lot also for Dykeman Houses. She's, you know, a big advocate up there and does a whole lot of stuff. I won't even go into it. Secondly, my friend James on my left here has told me that he has not reapplied for the community board. God knows I'm gonna miss him a lot because he, you know, has brought so much to this committee and the community, but we'll keep track of him in the community because he still has his up theater. So we'll be continuing our relationship in a different way.
I'm just curious, speaking of up theater, do you have anything going on in the next couple of weeks?
We have a benefit, gala, to raise money for our next production with a new place uptown in Washington Heights and Inwood. And what is the date that is?
May 14th at Mama Juana.
May 14th, Mom. Raffles, entertainment, crazy stuff, food. It's not a whole dinner, but you know.
Yeah, good snacks, open bar, great entertainment.
It's always fun.
And-
We're honoring somebody.
We are honoring Fort Washington Collegiate Church.
We're honoring a whole church. That's been our home where we produce our plays for the last, I don't know, 8 years or so. And, they're going through some hard times, so we're trying to give them a boost.
When is that, James?
What is that?
May 14th, Wednesday, May 14th, 6 to 9 PM at Mama Juana. And if you go to, well,
It's right down the block from the store.
I'll send you the link.
And the third person on our committee who has chosen to resign from the committee is Joseph Polinsky, who has been our assistant chair. He has been promoted at his job and he will no longer be able to fulfill his required commitment to the community board. And he's been on the board for quite a long time. He was chair of the Traffic and Transportation Committee for a long time, back when I joined the board. And then he joined the Aging Committee. He's, you know, been the assistant chair since I took over, actually as chair. So we wish him very well, and if anybody is up around Yeshiva, maybe we'll run into him, but.
Can they put a notice in the weekly bulletin from the board that the agent committee is looking for members for next year?
Well, Catherine will know that, so when we have the, you know. When we have
The new class of members is gonna be a time when
when we get the new
Orientation.
members, they'll be encouraged to join the aging committee, I hope, because we'll really be down numbers and that's.
You need to say that this is a very fun committee.
I'm sorry?
This is a very fun.
Oh, yeah, it's a party.
We're, you know, our committee runs a little
With the
less
kids on it.
formal than the other committee meetings because of who we are.
I like it.
Okay, we're old, we like to have fun. Well, we're not all old, but I mean. Erwin likes to have fun too. He's a young person that joined up with us and, you know, we can have fun together. So, but you know, we have a little more relaxed atmosphere. You know, try not to be so formal and, you know, there are times when I've brought breakfast just because, you know, the time of the year, so. Anyway,
So you got no fan here. Come to the party with y'all.
It's you know, as the longtime chair of this committee said years ago, the aging committee, God willing, everybody's gonna get there. So you have to care about this committee because if you ain't old, you know somebody who's old.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm good, I'm just on a Zoom, but I'm good. Oh, I get that. Okay, quick question, because I do want to tell the staff, you know, the three programs.
5 años y ella todavía no sabe cómo usar el Zoom. Toda la gente, ojalá a Dios, ser viejo. Eso es el comité más importante por esta razón.
Y el que más tiene buena vibra y cosas así. Aquí que se da la rumba buena.
and on that note, it is 12, motion to adjourn. Second, please?
Second.
All right. Finished.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.